Finally, Daytona. We're going to revisit the historic Continental race 1962, in which one of the great American sports car drivers, well, you know what? If you don't know the story, I'm not going to give it away. We'll see right after the break. 62 Daytona Continental, the first road race ever held at Daytona International Speedway, and it paved the way for the 24-hour classic that would become a staple of both American and world endurance racing. A great field gathered for the inaugural. Dan Gurney was there, Sterling Moss, Jim Clark, and Roger Penske. Some of our younger viewers may not recall that Roger was an accomplished race driver before turning to the business and ownership aspects of motorsports. So, let's go to the Daytona Road Course and the beginning of a sports car racing institution.
Lovely winter weather. Brother, you can have it. If you're in the automotive field and you have to take it lying down, at least try to pick your spot. Quite a few people think Daytona Beach, Florida is just about the right spot. The warm sands, the cool, inviting sea, and a ride over the smooth sands all make Daytona Beach in winter the place to come for relaxation, fun, and excitement. The historic sands of Daytona once echoed to the thunder of the world's most powerful racing specials, and then became the outdoor proving ground for the new model stock cars. But as engines became more powerful, a more modern racetrack was needed. Today, the sands of Daytona are strictly for pleasure cars, bathers, and of course, for the seagulls. Here's a bird's eye view of the present-day Daytona Beach track, the world's fastest speedway. Here in February, every year, there are 2 thrilling weeks of performance trials and competition, which draw fans from every part of the world, including the winners of Delco Battery's Off to the Races contest. The first big event of Speed Weeks is about to begin. Some of the most famous racing drivers in the world are here, including Indianapolis winner A.J. Foyt, World Sports Car Champ Sterling Moss, Roger Ward, another Indianapolis winner, and Paul Goldsmith, motorcycle and racing car champion. Here's the traditional Le Mans start, where at the signal, each driver must run for his car, jump in, and take off. A.J. Foyt here seems a bit eager. Now? No, not now. And they're off for the 3-hour Grand Touring and Sports Car race. This event takes place over a combination road and track course, which includes the famous 2.5-mile oval with its 31-degree bank turns, plus the infield road course. The best of all speedways and the worst of all possible roads condensed for a total of 3.81 miles per lap. Each year, the finest cars in the world come to Daytona to be tested. If you want to prove your car and yourself, this is the course that can do it. The race is scheduled for exactly 3 hours, and the car that's ahead when the 3-hour flag falls wins. But remember, any driver who begins a lap before 3 hours are up must complete that lap, or he's out, regardless of his lead. Halfway through the grind, cars car's pit for a refill, which is about all you've got time for in this race. Lift the hood, and you're in trouble. Roger Penske gets off again in his Cooper Monaco. Go, boy. Here's George Constantine in his Ferrari V12. Bill Hill in another Ferrari. Jim Clark from London in a Lotus Elite. And now Dan Gurney in number 96 comes charging through into first position. The race grinds toward its finish, taking its merciless toll of men and machines. With only about 2 minutes left in the race, Dan Gurney feels his engine starting to fail. Dan knows he's a full lap ahead of his nearest competitor, so Dan thinks fast. Watch him now as he brakes to a stop, 14 feet from the finish line. Crazy? Crazy like a fox. Dan knows that if he goes 1 inch over that line before the 3 hours are up, the rules will force him to complete another full lap. And his engine will never make it. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go. But Dan also knows he's still 3 minutes ahead of the traffic. There's the flag. The 3 hours are up. And now, Dan coolly hits his starter button and rolls across the line on electric power. And coasts merrily down the track to the infield. The winner, 46 seconds ahead of second place. What a long minute that must have been. Dan Gurney rolls into the winner's circle to collect his trophy from NASCAR President Bill France and shares honors with England's famed Sterling Moss.
Let's talk about that dramatic finish at Daytona. It was the product of Gurney's blown engine. He used an electric starter motor to get across the finish line. So does that make his Lotus the first electric-powered car to win an international road race? No, actually it doesn't. Dan, of course, was already a rising star of Formula One at that time. He scored the first of 4 career Grand Prix victories later that year, and rotten racing luck is about all that stood between him and the World Driving Championship, not to mention victory in the Indy 500. Still, Dan's accomplishments include lots of big sports car wins, notably Sebring and Le Mans, 7 IndyCar, and 5 NASCAR stock car victories. Even with the bad luck, it is the resume of one of the most versatile and talented drivers ever to twist the wheel. I'm Dave Despain. I hope you've enjoyed these great events from sports car racing's past. Join us again for more sports car, IndyCar, and stock car racing on Victory Circuit.